Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, February 8th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, we have a Time for Change call, 9 p.m. Eastern, and a Reverse Aging Health call this Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Meditate on the ocean of existence. Something quite divine occurs when you stop focusing on your separate self and let your mind merge and melt into the vast ocean of existence. There's a great sea of atoms, quarks, quantum energy that creates this sweet soup of consciousness for you to bathe in. So it's like taking off your clothes and diving right in. Just notice how the wet, cooling qualities of the entire ocean can be found within a single drop. The greatest illusion that you can participate in is that you are just a single drop of this ocean and that you are not also this entire ocean itself. Do not live another day in illusion. Realize that we are all deeply connected with everyone and everything on the most subtle of levels. When we focus our minds for hours on this ocean of pure conscious energy that truly knows no separation, we will discover bliss, pure bliss. Feels so amazing to be merging, melting, and totally surrendering to existence. We oftentimes will look at ourselves and we look around us and you kind of have the illusion of feeling small, insignificant. And it's crucial to not rely on the mind for liberation. There is an amazing infinite universe all around us. Outer space extends far beyond what we can see with any high-tech cosmic telescope, which can view star systems 13 billion light years plus away. This incredible universe is also a living, breathing experience that extends infinitely within us. It continues deeper beyond the atomic quantum particles, beyond, which our amazing yet ancient electron microscopes can barely see. And when we look inside ourselves on a continuous level, using our mind to explore who we truly are, what we discover is yet another realm of infinity. Inside our minds, there are memories piled upon memories and beliefs within beliefs, all stacked to infinity. For every new thought that is forming right now, there are a dozen new thoughts soon to follow. Just sit down on some lazy Sunday afternoon to spiritually investigate who you really are. And you'll find you can ascend and descend forever within the deepest realms of your very soul. However, what I find most fascinating inside of this infinite mystery is in the relationship that's manifesting between our inner world and the outer universe. It behaves something like a perpetual reflection in a mirror. Whatever is happening within our inner world is attracting, magnetizing, and manifesting what we are experiencing in our outer world. For example, if I'm in a good mood today, all I see are happy, smiling faces wherever I go, and amazing opportunities seem to effortlessly float my way. Then, if I fall down into an emotional dumpster, the face of every person has nothing but gloom and doom smeared all over it. And it feels like my entire life is about to collapse. The law of attraction is unavoidable. Whatever we are feeling and feeding into emotionally on the inside is somehow always materializing into whatever we see, experience, and physically attract in our outer world. Another example of how the infinite reflection is showing up in our lives is how it manifests in our relationship with others. The more love, compassion, and acceptance we have for ourselves, the easier it is to have compassion, love, and acceptance for others. Or it's always that one thing which we absolutely dislike and cannot stand about the other, which is reflecting some part inside ourselves that we don't want to own or accept, or we don't care to own or accept. If you were to be upset at your neighbor for being too dominating, controlling, and aggressive, instead of having compassion with him, then when you take a closer look inside yourself, you will see how you're not okay with those parts of yourself that feel too dominating, controlling, or aggressive. It's all a deep and yet transparent mirror. Our inner world is an extension of our outer universe, and the outer world is an extension of our inner universe. This means that life extends into infinity in every direction and dimension. Our inner and outer universes are never separate. Even though our physical body appears to be a completely isolated entity, it is not. We live in one sacred ocean of energy. There simply is just one universe that extends for infinity into the other realms, in all directions and inner dimensions. We contain the wet and salty qualities of the entire ocean, and yet are just a single drop in it. The oceanic waves are always moving us and flowing through us as you. He who thinks he is the doer is also the sufferer, Ramana Maharishi. The essential problem that you'll find most people are having with life is that they are not reaching deep enough inside themselves to reconnect with their actual living, breathing, infinite spiritual essence. Our spiritual nature is a real thing. It is our most basic reality. It is what keeps our heart beating, our breath breathing, and our life force moving through us in every moment of existence. We don't have to breathe. Our body does it for us in a way. The same as with our spiritual essence. It is living and creating through our physical body, unfolding its essential karmic programming within this great cosmic playground. It's good to know that suffering happens only when the mind gets in the way. That's the only time we suffer, is when the mind gets in the way. When we become overly focused on thoughts and material things that make us feel limited or time-bound, we start believing we only have limited options. The realm of the infinite fades into the background of the finite. And we start thinking everyone is living in a very small, contracted world. When we only focus on our needs, we forget how to connect with the soul of others. If we are always thinking about money and more material possessions, we cannot see or feel the infinite reality that is beneath it all. A majority of the rat race is trapped in thinking about time-bound appointments, which causes consciousness to squeeze itself into a tiny temporal boxes, and let's say 4:30 p.m. With this deadline coming, we just don't have time to feel what eternity is like. When we only live in a limited tick-tock 24-hour clock world that is consumed with resources around money and material items, we instantly start feeling disconnected from the infinite eternal beings we actually are. This addictive dwelling of the mind on what is not infinite or eternal is what makes us feel spiritually disconnected from every living being on the planet today. We were all born, we all entered these bodies, the body was born, with a limited time-bound physical body so that we could acquire a contrasting perspective and experience ourselves as the infinite eternal beings we actually are. We have the capability to create, manifest, and experience anything we desire. We are all the children of a great universal consciousness, God, that is impregnated with unlimited potentiality. If all this talk about the infinite is expanding your mind too much to handle today, just remember that your inner world is always impacting and manifesting something in your outer world. Every thought you believe to be true is what is creating your reality. Your thoughts are always flowing through you and are always creating everything in your life. You will become whatever you think in the future. So be aware of your innermost thoughts, and yet somehow remain non-attached. Your thoughts are not who you truly are. You are an eternal infinite consciousness who is beyond form and beyond time. We are pure awareness reflecting back on itself in this physical universe of space and time. Let go of thoughts that were cycling in your mind yesterday and ideas about the way life should turn out for you tomorrow. Be here now. Now is the moment of power. Now is where enlightenment is discovered. For physically, you are forever forced to exist in this present moment. Your present awareness is always being generated from this present moment. Know this and live and breathe within this knowing. If you want your life to be smoother, fuller, and more in touch with utter bliss, get in touch with your eternal essence. Let go of any limiting thoughts that you have and drop into the knowingness that you are an infinite soul who will never, ever, ever, ever die. If you crave for some secure life that is easy and light, give that experience to yourself on the inner world within first. Find out how to soothe yourself emotionally, giving deep, robust, tingling sensations to every corner of your body, mind, and spirit. The great experience of divinity is always available and ready to take us into the higher dimensions. Our greatest life is ready for us here, now. So open yourselves up. Welcome it in. You'll find the infinite within the finite. Trust the process. Breath it in. And enjoy every breath you were given. Meditation is a listening with a receptive heart, Buddha. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the very first thing, always, relax the body you're in. Head to toe, inside and out. You know the body's relaxed when you're not thinking. You're not thinking. You're not worrying. You're not stressing. You're not fearing. You're not projecting. That's all gone. You don't have this incessant mind chatter with 60+ thousand thoughts that you generate every single day. You aren't looking at thoughts flying by in the sky that aren't yours, that are programs that we grab onto. You're removed from that. You've stepped outside of it. And the body responds. What happens when the body isn't stressed? Because you're not giving it attention. You're not focused on it. It isn't there. It's a learning process for all of us. And the learning process is about choosing. Do I care to have my body in distress or dis-ease or disharmony? Because we literally, each and every one of us, are the commanders of these bodies. We're actually the masters and commanders of everything in this life. So easing your body, practicing to ease the body all the time. All the time. I'm not saying it's real, lickety-split easy, because we're so habitualized in the opposite of that. But practicing it. letting go. You ever notice when you're not focused on something, let's just say you were at one time, okay? You ever focus on something and you're focused on it, but for some reason you get more frustrated because it doesn't seem to happen for you. And then, of course, what happens? Hurried, stress, worry, because it's not happening for you. But then when you forget about it, right, it always seems to appear and show up. So it's like you focus on something that you desire, but you aren't attached to it. You know what I mean? You focus on something you desire, but you're not attached to it. And you really don't have any expectations of it, but you know deep within that it will be. And then you move on to something else. So relaxing the body helps with everything. Keeping the body in a state of relaxation. Naturally. Means that eventually your stress level begins to fade. Irritability, anxiousness, hurriedness fades. And you're perfectly content in the very moment you're in. You're not distracted. And the body responds. Because what we're doing is that we focus on the breath, easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth. And as we focus on the breath, we move ourselves into the now. Because the breath is the now. You ever hear of yesterday's breath or tomorrow's breath? It's only in the now. And the now really, truly is all we have. We don't have tomorrow, and we don't have yesterday. We only have the now. And when we focus on the now, we still the ego mind and the subconscious mind. We still them, which means we don't interact with them. We leave them alone. We leave the mind alone, the ego alone. We leave the subconscious mind alone. And the body responds. And see, by staying in the now, we aren't distracted with all of these things that come rushing in that we attract. You know, the rat race. You know, scurrying here, scurrying there, getting here, getting this done, getting that done, getting this, getting. It's, we don't know because of our faith in ourselves is not strong. And our belief, our trust in ourselves and the universe is not strong. But as you develop it, it gets to the point where it's unshakable. Then it's a cakewalk. You just intend, and it will be. Every single time. Whatever you focus your attention on is going to be. Now, is it going to be in 10 seconds? No. But it will be. And as you focus your attention on whatever it is, you're creating it. The universe basically sends it to you. Now picture all of us standing, right? And it's just a total void, very peaceful and quiet. And we look up and we see this beautiful, shimmering wave, endless wave. And it's multicolored and it's real super bright and it seems multidimensional. And we notice that it is consistent, it's constant. It doesn't wane, it doesn't overpower. And that is the constant flow of abundance coming from the universe. And we're below it. And the reason we're below it is because of how we think, how we feel, how we perceive things, how we feel about ourselves, because it's all about you. It's about nobody else. It's about you. The reason it's about you is for you to discover who and what you are, to love yourself, to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself, to make peace with all of the things that you're uncomfortable with about yourself. Only then are we tremendously powerful to assist and help others on this planet. So the flow of abundance is always. It's never not. It's always flowing. And we're below it because of our thinking, because of how we believe we are. So as you increase your awareness of yourself, your vibrational frequency of gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness with yourself, deep gratitude for every split second that you're in that body, you increase your vibrational frequency. So then you lift yourself up to the flow of that abundance. It doesn't come down to you. You elevate yourself up to it. And as soon as you do this, you'll know it absolutely instantaneously. Things will start coming in. And of course, a lot of people, they don't correlate that, so they just think it's luck, something like that, you know. But it isn't. It's the flow. It's the abundant flow of the universe for all of us. It's not like it picks out a handful of us here and there. It's for all of us. We all deserve the best of everything. All of us do. So in relaxing the body, focusing on who and what you are and going within, increasing your vibrational frequency intentionally, not artificially, but intentionally through your heart minds, then that flow of abundance that you see flowing above your head will flow in through your heart mind as you increase your vibrational frequency. The whole liberation of this planet is due to increasing the vibrational frequency through our heart minds, head to toe, inside, no matter what's going on around us. So you look at the body, and you know you're not the body. You know you're not the character, the personality, the name, your belongings, your status. You're none of that. You're the God within the body. You are pure, unadulterated consciousness. God source. Kingdom of God. So doesn't it make sense? You should be able to look inside the body and go, what are these lights in here? I see these 7 lights, all different colors, running from my tailbone of the body all the way to the top of the head. What are these? And the colors are so much, they seem so much more than here on this planet. Well, they're called chakras on this planet. And the definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. They're spirit, etheric energy. And the gods that we are spirit, etheric energy. So we flow through these chakras, these wheels of light. And they're all connected to all the organs, all the emotions, all the personality, all the character, everything, all of it. And, of course, the guys that we are flow through it. So we really, truly know these bodies right down to the quantum core. We know them inside and out. Now, of course, as the amnesia that we have blocks that understanding, until we rediscover who and what we are. So then when that happens, you begin to discover that the God that you are is the power of healing. So eventually we will be able to heal these bodies in a blink of the eye. We will not need the technologies. Those are the training wheels for the civilization. And once you understand how these technologies work inside now, then you'll start to understand they were designed as teachers for the surface civilization of planet Earth. Gaia, are you? Now, we have memories, right? And we reminisce, and it's fun, and something will trigger it or something. And so we go into our libraries. The libraries are our subconscious mind. We open the door, turn on the light, and when we get some movies and some books, and we just review things. We review things that we have actually experienced in our lives. And we like looking at the real fun ones and the things that were really, influential, happiness. So we review those. And we also review some of the ones that will remind us not to do the same thing again. Now, but we don't stay there. We will do this, enjoy it, and then we put the movies and the books away on the shelves, and then we turn the light off, shut the door. Now, if you look at visualize your heart, mind, motion picture, they have three paths in front of us. One on the left is the past. The one on the right is the future, and the one in the center, the one that you're standing on currently, is the now. Now, these paths are basically identical. There's beautiful trees that formed a canopy over these paths, and they're all shimmering gold, the leaves, the branches, everything. And then the path itself is this vibrant, bright, emerald green, flaming grass. Now, the only difference you can tell with these paths is that you look at the left and you see that the past path, and you go, wow, that's really been used a lot. And you look at the right, the future path, and you go, that's been used also quite a lot. But the path you're standing on, you notice that it almost is pristine. It's like brand new. This is because the ego mind, which is in charge of most of us, most of the time, will not go into the now because it knows it won't exist in the now. Makes sense, doesn't it? So what it does is it does everything it can to keep us from being in the now. This is why the past path is so used and the future path is so used, and why the center path, the now, is like brand new, never been used. Now, those of us that stay in the past, I don't believe it's conscious, I believe it's unconscious, but we stay there so long that we bring that past into a future that doesn't exist because the future is created in the now. We bring that past into that future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past, and we relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, the future, we all do this, it's just that we don't stay. Like the future, we go into this future, it's a void. We create the future in the now. So, but we'll go into that future and we'll wander around and we'll ask ourselves all these questions. When is this going to happen? How come this hasn't happened for me? When am I going to have more money to enjoy my life? When am I going to be healthier and happier? And so all these questions we ask, this we want to know. But see, we seek external authority, and the reason we seek external authority is because we're not aware that all the answers that we are seeking are within us. And we learn, right, that all we really do have is the now. And so we then focus on the now, and this way we move into ourselves, not outside of ourselves. And we move into ourselves to discover all of this. Now we're consciously aware. What does that mean? It means that we know, emphatically so, that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. We are of it and from it. Huge understanding. Major breakthrough. And we also know that we, God, whatever you want to name it, whatever you want to name yourself, of the true you, the God, the kingdom of God, the heaven, the spirit, the higher self, whatever. So, when we enter these bodies, we power them up. That's why these bodies in the mother's womb, yes, it's being nurtured and fed through the umbilical cord, but her soul is sustaining that body, that baby body. When the umbilical cord is cut and that body moves to the outside, you now are in charge of powering that body up. So we know we're heaven on this earth. Heaven is not a place. It is you, the God that you are. Now, being taught that heaven is a place is part of the matrix trap. So we're heaven on earth. And every step we take, we're creating paradise. We're transforming this planet into a God planet paradise. And not only that, we're shining our light. Our light is the love that we are of and from within these bodies. And we shine it 24/7, infinity and beyond. Never ending. On, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. So if you were to take a starship off planet, out far enough to see the circumference of the planet itself, and you would see it glowed. I mean, we do have 8 billion gods in humanoid form. And they're not all awake. We know that, right? Love them just the same, but they aren't all awake. But the light still shines bright. So if you would see this planet glowed, and you would also notice that the lights around the planet would seem like lit candles in the dark. Dim, dim, dim. So a God planet paradise that glows. This doesn't include all of the other gods inhabiting all of the other forms to experience. Now, some of us in this lifetime yet may learn that when we decide to leave these bodies, we will know we're the light. We won't have amnesia anymore. We will know that we are the love. Omnipotently powerful. So when a light shows up, starts chasing you, you'll know that that light isn't the love that you are. It is a trap in the matrix, which then puts you through the cycle over and over and over and over and over again throughout infinity. Now, we communicate with the parts of us that are awake, consciously aware to a certain extent. We don't communicate with the parts of us, the gods that we are, that are asleep, because they're asleep. We love them just the same, but they're asleep. They will wake in their own time. So we communicate with the parts of ourselves that are awake. And it doesn't matter that parts of us are, 1,000 billion light years away. Doesn't matter, because we're all one. We always will be. This includes, I mean, the numbers are endless. They're really uncountable. The googolplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of googolplexes coming from trillions of universes from every direction. These are all light energy beings. And all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. We have the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth. Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All of the off-worlders, galactics and celestials. And we're all gathered. We're always gathered. Arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, consciously aware to a certain extent, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. We're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy continues to intensify, grow, expand. And our God force, love, light, energy isn't all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. We immediately form a white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light is the love that each of us are made from. We are of and from the love, which then allows us to be consciously aware to a certain extent. Now, this white fire circle of light is permeating, saturating, flooding this planet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, is infinity and beyond. Nothing can escape it. Nothing will. Now we begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's not like an ocean of glitter you would perceive or, think about here on this planet. It's way beyond that. And the best way to describe it would be a grand finale laser light show, a grand finale fireworks show, and a massive ballroom globe, mirror globe, but except this one is a trillion times larger and a trillion times more intense. So you combine all these into one spectacular, grand display, and that's about as close as we'll get to the description of this ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious, so we go to the reflective points, and we notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors perfectly etched that we enter. And when we enter them, we enter this, it is indescribable, because we are connected, all of us, as one, but yet we're learning from each other all the time. We're either learning and teaching and learning, or both. We're teaching ourselves and learning about ourselves. We're teaching others. We're learning from others. It's a constant. It's infinity and beyond. Now, most of us are so distracted from the material physical world that we kind of skip over this. We don't realize it. We figure, well, the God in the bird is inferior to the God in this body, the God that I am in this body. And that is just an illusion. That is so far from the reality of the truth of it. It's the opposite. So when we decide, each of us, to go within and stay within, we'll discover this. We won't look at birds just because, there's a bird flying by. We'll look at the birds and see what they're teaching us. We'll look at the trees The tree isn't the life, it's the God that enters the tree and gives the tree life. Just like we enter these bodies and give these bodies life. And it is fascinating. And then you start to realize, how could I ever be bored in this life? How could I ever be bored? You can't. Only, though, you can if you stay outside yourself and you're absorbed and immersed into the material physical world outside of you. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all that the gods that we are within these bodies are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, with a white fire armor, nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond. And this white fire armor emanates from the God within us, within these bodies. The pure, deep, eternal love, of and from. So nothing can penetrate it, no demon possessions, no attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, period. You are protected always. They couldn't come near us at this frequency because they would vaporize. So they stay away. So you're protected always. But only you have the power that if you decide you will lower your vibrational frequencies consciously or unconsciously low enough through hatred, greed, anger, fear, stress, anxiety, worry, hurriedness, revenge, greed, dishonesty, you would create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's possibilities of demon possession, attachments, all kinds of things with the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. But if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with this double column of light. The first part of this column, known as the purple transmuting flame, we created this part of the column to remind us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to spirit consciousness where they are, no more. The other part of this column of light is the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony, the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that all of us, the gods that we are, created to remind us all that we are, the gods that we are in these bodies, are the sun, are the sunlight, are the rain and the rainbows, are the sunsets and the sunrises, the oceans, rivers, the lakes, the streams, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals, the sky, the clouds, the mountains. We are everything. Everything is us. It's always been that way. Infinity and beyond. So the next time you view a sunset or a sunrise, starlit night sky, mountain view, ocean front, rainbow, Now, we've all been trained to, isn't that beautiful? To say, isn't that beautiful? Try it through the heart-mind, not the ego-mind, through the heart-mind. When you see that sunset and you say, that is the God that I am, it's a whole different understanding. And you'll know it because you will feel lit up with bliss, viewing a part of yourself as the God that you are. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it, if we're carrying physical form. And we do this because it's fun, and we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystal light tower that we created, larger than a solar system and beyond. In the center of the column of the tower, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this humongous golden white bowl of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by multiple multicolored rings of light that seem to never end. All of this has created a super bright white, misty cloud that is sparkling. You could see arcs of energy flashing. It's just breathtaking. It's absolutely the God that you are within that body. And this is absorbed through the heart-mind. It's like a warm embrace that never ends. Now we discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, tremendous prosperity, tremendous abundance. And we discover that all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, infinity and beyond, as it's doing right now. This golden ocean is permeating, saturating, and flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We all created this sphere nearly 4 years ago. It holds over 1,800 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Now, these meditations don't die off. They don't weaken. They don't disappear. They do the opposite. They intensify. They grow. They continually expand. And they're flooding, saturating, permeating this planet head to toe, inside and out, nonstop. Infinity and beyond. It's massive, and it is beyond magical. You can tap into these meditations anytime you choose. Quantum physicists have now proven that the universe is a holographic field energy, matter and consciousness, with our mind-body as a universal hologram containing the entire field. At last, they have proven that the whole is contained within its parts. It may be good to know this, or even better, to remember this, because someday we all may want to sit down and explore this amazing universe out there. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. The conscious energy source flows into each new moment so quickly that we cannot catch it or escape from it. We are it. And it is showing us that we are an amazing being who is connected to everything in the most extraordinary ways. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here Wednesday, February 9th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.